This is the biggest story unfolding before their eyes.
Of a UFO battle in orbit around Earth.
I believe that's 504, please.
And frankly, I think we're now on a slippery slope because Mr. Barber, as a whistleblower, is just the beginning. There are many more in the sidelines.
The timing with this stuff is just wild right now because we've just had a Green Beret Cybertruck bomber claiming information about UAP. We've just had another Green Beret go on Jesse Michaels' podcast this week talking about the off-world tech. We've got another first-hand whistleblower from within the program, so high military guy coming out through Ross Coulthart. Jeremy Corbell, he's got a whistleblower. Stephen Greer has been talking about Green Berets and high-level military guys for a long time. I wonder if they've actually all been kind of communicating in the shadows, and this is like a coordinated plan.
News Nation has independently obtained previously unseen video obtained from a secret UAP craft retrieval program.
Our technology is well ahead of what people know. We call it the test site or the test range. We moved on down another hallway and it had a marking on the wall and said off-world technology.
I'm here with Ashton Forbes. He is a researcher and visionary in the field of advanced physics. So he's focused on zero-point energy and its potential to change how we understand and use energy. His work explores advanced physics concepts like space-time manipulation, quantum vacuum energy. He's pushing the boundaries of what we know about the universe today.
As in, you received an order from someone at some point that said, you got to shoot this NHI. And
I feel really uncomfortable talking about this.
Yeah, because right now we're treading a line where
part of what it may have to address is something a little bit stranger than just bigger state-sponsored drones going around doing something.
But it's like it zips upwardly. So straight away I knew that was completely something not what that scope can pick up is unbelievable.
And as we turned left on the, not a hard left, just a dog leg left, there sat this object on top of November 5 that was about 10 feet in the air, directly on top of that blast door that was the size of a Walmart building.
Welcome back to Aussie UFO News, and today we've got a lot of stuff coming up because as you can see through the real mainstream media like News Nation that report on factual, real news, that there is allegations coming out with evidence to back it that could change the whole course of the UFO subject and expose its factual history that basically can change everything from leading to the remnants of human civilization to the cover-up of technologies that we could have had over a century ago and could change normal people's perception that aren't awake or research anything to do with the UAP subject and its long-grained history that goes back to prehistory and its presence that's always been here with us. We have some sort of concerted effort by UFO researchers and people wanting to expose the whistleblowers coming out with first-hand evidence. It's so obvious that they're all coming forward together in like a wave of evidence that's going to push hopefully the new administration with the people who run the intelligence committee on the Republican side to maybe put some more pressure on the intelligence community to spill their beans a little bit more, which personally I don't have much hope in happening. But nevertheless, we have Ross Coulthart, in my opinion, one of the best journalists ever to live and should go down in the history books as a modern day hero in the journalistic field. He exposed recently, which is coming out in the next couple of days, I think tomorrow, a Green Beret Secret Service government worker, which his name was Jacob Barber, and he's a whistleblower. And he's stated that for the past 30 years, he's worked in both official and unofficial capacity for the United States government and its partners, hear that, its partners and contractors in the intel community. And it doesn't just stop there. He has evidence, video evidence, and documentation to back it up. Skeptics, what are you going to say now?
Fingers in your ears and make the la-la sound. La-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
We also have podcasters such as Julian Dorey with James Fox and another military whistleblower talking about encounters with NHI. We also have other podcasters such as Jesse Michaels making a push to expose the hidden physics of zero-point energy that we first discovered in the 1920s and contractors have been using up to this day without any knowledge of the public knowing. We also have the big guns in Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, who are starting to get a more aggressive approach to exposing the truth because of the way this subject is completely compartmentalized and covered up in an aggressive manner from the intel community.
Tell me your name, what you were doing in Iraq, your unit, what your role was.
Matt Davis, United States Marine Corps. The unit was 1st Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion. I was a scout with that unit. We're doing anti-terrorism, just operations in Iraq. We had huge areas of overwatch to do, just doing patrols to the desert, and just like preventing any kind of enemy movement, clear villages, set up vehicle checkpoints, do night operations. Day we're always operating. It was nonstop. So the LAV vehicles have 3 crewmen, a driver, a gunner, and the vehicle commander, and 4 scouts, team leader, machine gunner, pointing in like a grenade or stuff like that. We would take tactical pauses, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for more orders, so we'd set up in coils, which is like a 360-degree security. There's 4 LAVs, which is 2 sections, Alpha and Bravo.
What's an LAV, by the way?
It's a light armored vehicle. It's got a 25-millimeter Bushmaster cannon, 240 Bravo machine gun on top with the 240 coax. And at all times, there's 2 scouts popped up in the rear. We do area route, zone reconnaissance, and just operations, So if we need to get somewhere fast, we have those vehicles. We assess scouts, we can dismount.
That is the gimbal UFO in infrared. You can see clearly that it's a saucer shape, and the movements are simply astonishing. Now we're going to focus on the latest story of Jacob Barber that had a storied career in the US Air Force and his experience with NHI and crash retrieval programs. Here's the story on News Nation now. And don't forget to follow my Instagram, Aussie UFO News, and follow and share my videos here. Covering Barber's account through this interview was his first encounter with non-human intelligence. This was just a sneak peek video from News Nation showing you what's ahead in this deep dive into Barber's experiences with NHI. Firstly, he covers his first experience with this egg-shaped UAP, which, as he quotes, says, "I saw an egg, a white egg," he said. "There was no engine, there was no thermal signature. I was operating at night when I finally came in to pick it up, so I'm working under night vision goggles at the time, and it was quite clear. I flipped them up and flipped them down and looked at it a couple different ways." End of quote. He also talks about UAP whistleblowers that say UFO retrieval programs do exist. He includes metallic balls and white orb objects the sizes of SUVs. The thing that
Colonel John Blitch is one of those people, and the other 2 people, Don and Fred, who backed up Jake's story, and they have first-hand experience on the range with Jake, which is quite extraordinary.
And they even tell their own experiences of their own UAP encounters and things they seen out at the base near S4 where Bob Lazar actually used to work. Isn't that convenient?
Well, we want to be accurate. Okay. Area S4.
In this interview, they also cover psionics, which is basically attracting beings or craft from out of our atmosphere through kind of psychological remote viewing. Barber said, in quotes, "In the program there was certainly a desire to explore the idea that perhaps UAP could be summoned, could be communicated with, could be controlled, and could be persuaded to land. all by deploying people with psionic abilities to interface and communicate with the UAP, end of quote. So basically that connects up further and gives more validity to the old school remote viewing programs that were created in the early 1960s and 70s that has been recently covered by people such as Hal Puthoff. What Barber also exposes is the connection between consciousness and this UAP technology, and maybe the reason we haven't been able to crack it yet, because it needs a level of psionics to connect to the craft to control it. In the interview, they also cover the health effects of the UAP phenomenon and coming in contact with it, and also how it followed him throughout his life to this very day. I want to go back to this incident where Barber reports to Arrow at the time when Sean Kirkpatrick was at the head of it, and how Ross explains how they try to get the information with the new head of Arrow trying to discover Brown's testimony and evidence, and how it's been completely disappeared from history. It was archived and now it's been completely washed. Doesn't this sound familiar with the UFO cover-up and the levels they'll go to cover up the phenomenon and any evidence that gives it any validity?
Better be paying attention. If it turns out what he's saying is legitimate, this is going to be perhaps one of the biggest stories, frankly, over the last 50 years, perhaps.
Ross, what are the questions for you after what we'll learn in the special tomorrow night?
Look, the simple fact is that there's a problem, Chris. The Pentagon is consistently trying to evade answering questions on this subject. They've told us that they have confirmed that Jacob Barber's claims have been made, that they're aware of the claims, but they're maintaining their persistent claim that there is no evidence of any programs regarding the possession of reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials. And I can tell you, Mr. Barber has overwhelming evidence. That evidence was provided originally to Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick by a member of his team, including imagery, and for some reason that imagery and other data disappeared when the new ARROW director, the new Pentagon UFO boss, tried to investigate this material. He couldn't find it anywhere in the Pentagon's UFO office. It would appear someone had lost it. And I think what's going on here is the ARROW, the Pentagon's UFO office, is being used as a foil. It's basically being used by the Defense Department to try to fob off any further public transparency. And frankly, I think we're now on a slippery slope, because Mr. Barber, as a whistleblower, is just the beginning. There are many more in the sidelines.
Lou, weren't you one of the guys that used to make that stuff disappear so the rest of us couldn't find out about it?
I mean, yeah, Chris, I was at a time one of those guys. You know, some people have accused me of being one of the men in black. I prefer to be referred to now as one of the men in white.
And there you have it, people. You have a cover-up of the UAP phenomena, of the crash retrieval program, of any documents regarding anything to do with this phenomena in general. Doesn't it tell you something here? Why would they be covering something up if it wasn't real? Let that sink into your head, and see you next time. Tune in to see Ross Coulter's coverage on this whistleblower and the UAP program. I think it's airing tomorrow night. And also remember to share my videos, and I've got some cases from Sydney of UAP or UFOs over the top of Sydney again, which are pretty crazy. So tune in the next couple of weeks and I'll be releasing that as well. Thank you very much.